Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Campaign 2016 segment. Tonight, let's bring in one of the debaters who will be on stage in Iowa tomorrow night. Dr. Ben Carson joins us now from West Des Moines. So what do you think about all this debate controversy? Does it help you, Doctor?
Well, I don't know that it helps anybody. It certainly doesn't help the American people, as you pointed out. They need to know who the candidates are, and whether you've been treated unfairly or not is really relatively irrelevant. I mean, I've certainly been treated unfairly with all these lies that have all been disproven, but nevertheless, you know, that goes with the territory. That prepares you for the White House, because it's going to be even worse than that. So right now, what we have to concentrate on is making sure that the American people have a good menu of items to look at in determining who they should select as their commander-in-chief.
That's reasonable. Now, do you believe in general the press has been fair to you? I know you've taken some hits from the left-wing press, but you just expect that. But just overall, do you think you've been reported on in an accurate way?
Overall, I would say no. I mean, you look at the attacks about my Yale course, about West Point, about my temper, all of which have been disproven. But do the press ever come back and say, oh, well, we found this and that was not true? Of course not, because their narrative is that this guy is somebody that you can't trust. They want to keep that out there, recognizing that most people won't go to page 26 and see what the actual deal is.
The correction, right.
You know, but
right.
again, but that's to be expected, because that's what's happened to our press. You know, the press is the only business that's protected by our Constitution. The reason is because they were supposed to be on the side of the people, and they were supposed to be objective. By taking sides, they have completely distorted the original intent.
I agree 100%. I think that's great analysis. But another person in your position might say, this is a race deal. I'm black, and that's why I'm not being represented accurately. Would you do that? Do you feel that way?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with that, other than the fact that when you're black, you're not supposed to be conservative. You're not supposed to be a Republican. And there are many people who, you know, run with that narrative and try to attack you if, in fact, that's the case. I think that's a very racist attitude. I think it's manifested very frequently on the progressive side. If you're black, you're supposed to think a certain way, and if you don't, you're an Uncle Tom. But why isn't it true that if you're white, you have to think a certain way? If they really stopped and thought about it, they would see that that's very racist.
No, but I mean, if you're a non-liberal in a liberal industry like Hollywood out here in California, then some people are going to come after you. So it's not just a skin color issue, it's an ideological issue. Now, in Iowa next Monday, this is kind of do or die for you. You have to have a good showing. Am I wrong in saying that?
Probably, but it doesn't matter, because we are going to have a good showing, so it's irrelevant. You know, we're having good showings all over. We're speaking to a lot of people. A lot of people are changing their minds. I think all of you guys, maybe not you, I don't know what you think, are going to be quite surprised next Monday night.
Okay, and that is a good optimistic view to take. But we always have to prepare for the worst. I mean, those of us who know what life is all about. And if you don't do well, are you prepared to carry on?
Well, let me put it this way, Bill. You know, this was not something that was on my bucket list. And all the pundits said it was impossible. And, you know, that comforted me, because I didn't particularly want to do it. But, you know, once I made that decision, I said, Lord, if you want me to do this, open the doors, and if you open the doors, I'll walk through. And if you close the doors, I'll sit down. And I keep my eyes open to look for open and closed doors.
All right, Doc. It's always great to talk to you, and good luck tomorrow on the debate.